guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It is 9 o'clock on a Thursday. It's time for a Magic Stuff. And today I'm going to be presenting another one of the 3 best trick series. Today I'm going to be talking to you about 3 tricks that you've never seen before that are self-working miracles. That's right, we're going to be looking at self-working card tricks today. Now, this is a question that's come up on this channel over and over again. What are your favorite self-working tricks? What are your favorite self-working tricks? Now, I do thousands of self-working card tricks. I really do. I love self-working tricks. What I don't like is tricks that require a lot of dealing. Deal 50 cards, now deal into 2 cards. I just don't like that. It's just not my style. I prefer tricks that are quick and snappy. I will be probably doing a few of these videos because I only do 3 on a video because I perform them and I talk about them. And there's quite a lot. When I made a list of all of the tricks that I wanted to talk about, there were quite a lot. So I'm probably going to be doing a few of these videos over the next year. This is the first one, and I kind of wrestled with myself as to which tricks I was going to include in here. I've included 3 older tricks. I don't think many people are going to know them, but they have become more popular about 7 or 8 years ago when Michael Amar included a couple of them on his Easy to Master Card Magic series. But having said that, I think it's ones that you guys really should know about. And if you want to learn self-working card tricks, these 3 are absolutely amazing. So the whole thing with self-working magic is there is no skill at all in these tricks. You can do them anytime, anywhere, with no ability. You can literally just be shown how the trick works and you can perform them, which makes it really, really cool because you can focus on presentation. So without further ado, let's have a look at the first trick that's self-working that you might not have seen before. So the first trick we're going to be looking at is Neither Blind Nor Stupid by the maestro himself, Juan Tamariz. Now, if you haven't seen Juan Tamariz, he is the guy that has created Mnemonica. He is incredible. He is one of the best cardicians in the world, and he's just awesome. And you think of him as somebody who just does incredibly difficult card magic because he can do incredibly difficult card magic. I remember learning his Tamariz perpendicular control for the first time and I was blown away. A lot of people forget that he does some amazing self-working tricks as well. He's got a very eclectic range of magic. As anybody who's performed the Tamariz rabbits would know. But Neither Blind Nor Stupid is fantastic. It's completely self-working. It uses a setup deck. It does use a deck that's set up, but it's very easy to set that deck up. It can be set up in a matter of seconds. In fact, you can actually set it up during the course of a routine. It's very easy to set up. So let's have a look at it first of all. I'm going to do a full performance of it. I'm going to do a performance of Neither Blind Nor Stupid, and then we'll talk about why it's so good. Let's do it. So I've got a pack of cards, 52 cards, all different. Is that fair?
Yeah.
So here is what is going to happen. We are going to get a couple of cards picked. Now, first of all, Ryan, what I would like you to do is cut the deck and complete the cut, if you could. Very good. If you could cut the deck any way you want to and complete the cut, that's wonderful. Thea, would you like to do the same and cut the deck and complete the cut?
Yeah.
If you want to, you can just cut some cards like that.
Yeah.
There you go. Give them a cut. Very good. And put those on top. Complete the cut. Very good. Ryan, do you want to give it one more cut or are you happy? You're going to give it one more cut. Okay. Now, I am going to look away. And when I look away, what I want you to do, Ryland, is you are going to look at that card. And then the next card down, Thea, you're going to look at the next card. I'm going to close my eyes. If you take that card and have a look at it. Thea, if you take the next card, take the next card. No, keep it to yourself. Show it to the camera. Don't show it to each other. Take that card. Look at it. Show the camera. Sarah, can you just make sure that they're showing the camera and they're not like zooming in? Very good. Come back. And then Ryland, you put your card back there. Very good. Thea, you put your card back there. No, on top of the pack. Very good. And Ryland, if you could just square the cards up, that would be great. Great. Now, let me ask you a question. Ryland, Thea, could I possibly know anything about your cards?
No.
Yes, I could. I know they're on top of the pack. I saw you put them there. I am not blind. I saw that you put the cards on top of the pack. I know exactly where they are. It would be very easy for me to find them. So, Ryland, cut the deck and complete the cut. Now, square them up so that there's nothing sticking out. Now, could I possibly know where the cards are now? Could I know anything about the cards right now?
Yes, they're in the middle somewhere.
That's the good point. Yes, I do. They're in the middle. I saw roughly where you put them. So I'll tell you what I'll do. I will turn around and look at Thea, and I want you to cut the cards somewhere again and complete the cut and then square up, okay? Give them one more cut. It's up to you where. And Thea, you make sure I'm not looking. Have you done that, Ryland?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Square up. Are they squared? So could I possibly know anything about your cards now?
I don't know.
Yes, I could, because I'm not stupid. And I know that they are together. No, they're together. I don't know where they are, but I know they're together because you put them both together in the pack, so they have to be together. So, Ryland, what I want you to do is take the cards, hold them as if you're about to deal. And I want to deal into two piles, alternating, one there, all the way through. So deal, very good. Deal into two piles all the way through. Because what's going to happen while Ryland is dealing the cards like this, he is separating the cards. So because I know that your two cards are together, by dealing the cards alternating from one pile to another, one card will be in one pile and one card will be in the other pile, and therefore they will no longer be together. They will be separate in two different piles. So you've done a great job there, Ryan. Thank you very much. Now, in that situation, with all of that dealing and all of the cutting and everything else with my eyes closed, could I possibly know anything about the cards now?
Yes, they're separate.
Yeah, but I obviously know they're separate. But other than that, could I know anything that would help me find them?
Yeah.
What? What could I possibly know? Could I know anything? Seriously, you know about magic. Could I know anything?
Yes.
No, it's not about guessing. Could I know anything? Come on, Ryland.
No.
Yes, I could! Because I'm not stupid. I know that the cards were together, so when you dealt them into two piles, I know that they're going to be in the same position in the pack.
No.
So I tell you what, Ryland, you take your packet, hold it face down, and shuffle it. Mix it up. Thea, you just do that. You're not very good at shuffling, but just do something like that. Face down, give them face down. Give them a mix up. There you go. Now leave those there. Very good, Thea. No, forget about the Pharaoh. Right. There you go. Well done, Thea. That's good. That's good. Now, could I possibly know anything about your cards?
They're not in the same position.
No, I couldn't know anything about them. No. It is impossible to find the cards now, other than I know that you touch them. And because you touch them, and because you are sweaty little children, and because you both smell, I know that you're going to have left your stink on those cards.
On all of them?
On just the one that you held. Hang on a minute. Let me try this. Hang on. Hang on.
The end.
Thea, Ryland, these two cards are particularly smelly. This one smells like you. That one smells like you.
It smells like Matt.
And if I get these two cards, I want you guys to go crazy.
That's mine. That is mine!
And was that yours?
Yeah.
Awesome. So that is the routine. Now, I urge you to go and watch Tamariz's performance because it is so over the top crazy that it just is the perfect example of no, I'm Juan Tamariz, my hands are empty. It's watching him perform this is just a masterclass. But when he performs it, he's very much a case of it's almost like he's scaring the audience. Could I possibly know? Yes, I could know. I am not blind. You have to watch the performance, but it is very, very funny. And that's one of the things I love most about this. The presentation of this trick is just killer. It absolutely is. Because if you think about it, there is quite a lot of dealing and cutting. But he makes it, I don't mind dealing and cutting when it's done in a very comedic way. Or it's justified, or presentationally, it's not boring. And in this, he's making this trick so impossible by cancelling out every single method that the layman or the spectators could possibly be thinking of. And laymen aren't stupid. You know, sometimes magicians think that laymen are stupid. They're not. They understand a lot, especially if you're performing for like engineers or scientists that have got very analytical minds. So this sort of presentation, he's cancelling out everything. You know, could I know anything about your cards? Yes, they're on top of the deck. Could I know anything about them now? Yes, I know it. And then you're just cancelling out every single method. So you get to this point where they're on this yes roll. They're used to saying yes, yes, yes. So you get to a point where you go, could I know anything about your card? No! What can I possibly know about your card? And then you do this thing where you pick up the cards and you sniff them, and you put them down on the table. Now, the sniffing thing probably isn't a good idea with social distancing, right? Sniffing is probably, for the next year, sniffing playing cards and talking about sweat is probably not the best way to go. I did want to, however, give this a full performance the way that Tamariz does it, okay? So he does that sniffing thing, and I did that sniffing thing, and it's a great thing to do. However, there are many other ways of revealing it. There are many other ways. You can get them to concentrate on it. You can take one card out, and you could even, have it so that you got the wrong card, and then you change it for the right card. There's lots of different options there. So just because if you watch the performance and you go, I don't know about that, social distancing, so that's not going to work, at that point in the routine, I know exactly where the two cards are in the deck. There is no question as to where the two cards are, and I can immediately reveal them however I want to. From a practicality point of view, you do require a table because you have to do the dealing thing, but it doesn't have to be a close-up pad. It's the perfect trick for a bar or something like that. There's no angle issues. Audience management isn't a problem because it's very easy and very clear as to what you're doing. As I say, the only real negative is that you have to set the deck up, but the deck can be set up during the course of another routine. And then once you've set it up, in fact, I don't want to tell you the trick that I do before this trick because that'll tell you what the setup is, but I do a very well-known trick before this trick which allows me to instantly have the deck set up at the end of that trick so I can then go into this routine. So yeah, it's fantastic. Very fooling. If a magician hasn't seen this before, not that it matters, because I don't think fooling magicians is the be-all and end-all, but if a magician hasn't seen this trick before, it will fool them. And it's just very, very clever and very, very entertaining, and laymen absolutely love it. So there you go. That's the first self-working trick that you might never have seen before, and it's by Juan Tamariz, and neither blind nor stupid. So the second trick that's self-working that you might never have seen before is Overkill by Paul Harris. Paul Harris is an incredible thinker of magic, and this trick is the perfect example of Paul's genius. Because it's called Overkill for the simple reason that you go overkill with the revelations. You reveal that you knew what this person's card was, and then it's kind of builds one up on top of another. But maybe you thought this, so I did this, and maybe you thought this, so I did this. And it really builds to a crescendo. If you build up the impossibility of this, and if you build up the impossibility of the procedure that you went to get them to think of a card, then you get yourself into a situation where the revelations, one on top of another, they just get more and more and more impressive. I'm going to go into I'm going to do a full performance of it right now. So let's do a full performance of Overkill. And then when I've done the full performance, we'll talk about why it's so good. Now I've got a pack of cards and I've got Sarah helping me. Hey, Sarah. Hey. She's never seen Overkill either. So I'd like to know, you've seen a lot of magic, but you've never seen Overkill. So I'm going to do this. I'd love to know what you think. It's a pack of playing cards, right, Sarah? Okay. And I'm going to have you pick a card in the fairest way possible. Because if I do this, I could possibly force you. If I cut packets on the table or riff my thumb. So we're going to do it in the fairest possible manner. Right. I'm going to look away. Mm-hmm. And what I want you to do is I want you to cut off a small packet of cards. Somewhere less than, less than 20, 10, 15, 5, whatever. Something around about there. Right. And I'm going to turn around while you're doing this. And when you cut the cards, I want you and everyone else to know what the number is. So you're going to count them one at a time on the table and just remember that number. So if there were 7 cards that you cut off, you'd remember 7. Okay, that way everybody else will know it as well. So let's do that. So if you could I'll turn around. If you could cut off a small packet of cards, okay, and then just count them into a pile on the table, and you can just leave the cards on the table once you've counted them. Okay. So if you want to count them onto the table one at a time. And just remember the card and the number. And you can confirm to everybody, I'm not looking at all, am I?
Okay, I've counted them.
Okay, cool, brilliant stuff. I'm going to turn back round. We'll just square those up. So you're now thinking of a number, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to deal, is it less than 20?
Yes.
So I'm going to deal 20 cards in a row on the table, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay. And what I want you to do is I'm going to count through the cards from 1 to 20. I want you to remember the card that falls in that position. So if you're thinking of 3, you think of the 8 of hearts. But don't tell me when you've got it. I don't want to know what the card is or where it is. Just let me count through all 20. Okay? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Have you got a card?
I have.
Think about this. This is impossible. You could have cut any number. There's no way I could know what number you cut to. You're then thinking of one card. You haven't taken it out. You haven't written it down. There's no way I could know the card. So I'm going to see if I can figure out what that card is. Concentrate on the card, and I'm going to try and pick up your psychic vibrations. Because we've been married so long, we're kind of in sync, aren't we? You know, I know everything about you. You know everything about me. I'm going to try and pick up on some psychic vibrations. I think it's more towards the middle, round about this area. It's a black card, isn't it, Sarah?
Yes.
It's a club, right?
Yeah.
You went for the ace of clubs, is that right?
Yes.
But maybe you think that somehow I cheated. I didn't cheat, but maybe you somehow think that I did cheat, which I didn't. But just to prove that I knew that you would pick the ace of clubs, what I did is on the flap of the card case, I actually wrote ace of clubs right there because I knew you'd pick the ace of clubs. It was predetermined. But maybe you think somehow I wrote that with my thumb when you weren't looking or something, which I didn't do.
Right.
But to prove that I knew you'd pick the ace of clubs, you see, every other card in this pack is red. All of those cards are red. All of these cards are red. But the ace of clubs right here is the only one with a blue back. But I understand how all that works. What I don't understand is you cut any way you wanted to, didn't you? Yeah. I didn't even pick up the deck. You cut from the table. Yeah. And you could have cut anywhere. And you cut a certain amount of cards. Yeah. And yet you cut to the ace of clubs. And that is Overkill by Paul Harris. It is. So isn't that great? Now, from a setup point of view, and I want to talk about setup because obviously with tricks like this, you do require a bit of a setup. A lot of self-working tricks, not all, but a lot of self-working tricks require a setup. With this particular trick, there is a small setup. You need a stranger card in the deck, obviously, and you need a particular card on top of the deck. It is very easy to make that happen. If I want to go into this, I don't have it pre-set up. Literally, I have the deck of cards, and I'll cop the card onto the bottom of the deck. And then as I'm spreading through, I'll move that card into position and I'll cull the card that I need to the top of the deck and I'll put that to the top of the deck. Done. Job done. So it's done on the offbeat. It's not an issue at all. It's a very easy setup to do that you can do in literally seconds. Once you've done that, no angle problems, completely self-working, very engaging. And the way that the card is picked is very, very clean if you actually think about it. Everything is justified. You know, you have a reason for doing it the way that you're doing it. You know, as long as you justify it, and we'll talk about that again in the third routine that I'm about to show you. But the whole idea is if you're having someone pick a card in a different way to what normally would happen, as long as you justify that, then that's absolutely fine. But the real goal for this trick is the revelations. You know, you've got the odd backed card, you've got it written in the card case, you've got this, you've got this, you've got this. It's absolutely amazing. You're left with a completely full regular deck of cards. I typically would put the stranger card back into my pocket so I could ring it in again if I want to do the routine again later on at another table. You're left with a regular deck of cards to go into anything. And it's also the sort of trick that when you do it, people aren't going to think, oh, I've seen that before. You know, that's my problem with something like the 21 card trick. I know there's really clever variations of the 21 card trick that people have published, but you're still using 21 cards and you're still dealing them into rows. And a lot of laymen think that they know the trick, even if they don't. They'll just take that creative leap and go, well, I've seen that before, and I don't want to get into that situation. So this avoids that completely. It's typical genius Paul Harris thinking. Yeah, it's called Overkill. You can learn it from many, many different sources, but I'd recommend Michael Amar's Easy to Master Card Magic series because he teaches it really well in there. So the final trick that you might never have seen before is called the world's greatest card trick. Now this trick is as old as the hills. I haven't got a reference for you. I mean, it's just been around forever. I was shown it years ago, and it's one that's so old that a lot of magicians don't know it because it is so old. I mean, these days, a lot of people that are coming into magic now, they're looking for that latest, greatest, really super visual thing. But this is great. I'll explain why it's so great in a minute. But first of all, let's have a look at the full performance of the routine. How are you, Sarah?
Good.
Cool. So, you know, you've been married to me a long time. I'm sure you would agree that I am the world's greatest magician.
You're all right, yeah.
I'm all right, yeah. I'm going to prove to you right now I'm the world's greatest magician. You see, if I asked you to pick a card, most of the ways that magicians get people to pick cards, it's not fair. You see, if I got you to think of a card, psychologically, most people think of one of only 7 cards. Mm-hmm. If I got you to look at a card and take it out, I'd see it. If I did it face down, well, you know I can make you pick a particular card if I really want to.
Yeah.
So the only way to make it really, truly fair is to completely randomize it.
Okay.
And that's what I'm going to do. I want you to take the cards and I want you to cut off a small packet of cards, maybe less than 20, but it's up to you.
Okay.
You done that?
Yeah.
Now, I don't want to know, you don't need to look at the cards. I'm going to look away. Just count how many cards silently you've got there. So you've got a random number. And when you've got that number, let me know.
Yeah.
You got it? Okay, you can put the rest of the cards, you can put those cards away. So you are now thinking of a random number. It's not like you've decided on that number. It was completely random. If you cut in a different place, you would have got a different number.
Right.
I'm now going to show you, was it less than 20, the number?
Yes.
I'm going to show you 20 cards. I'm not going to look at them myself. I'm going to look away. And I want you to remember the card that falls at the number you're thinking of. So if you're thinking of 1, you'd think of this card. Let me go all the way to the end. If I show you a card and you go, got it, I'll know it's about that area. So just let me go through all 20. Mm-hmm. Are you ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Have you got a card?
Yeah.
Could I possibly know where that card is?
No.
Because I don't know the number that you're thinking of. You didn't even know the number you were thinking of until you cut off a random packet of cards. But then if you cut somewhere else, you'd have got a different number and you would be thinking of a different card. There's no way I could know what card you're thinking of right now. And it's not like I'm holding breaks or shuffling in a particular way or anything like that.
Okay.
If I could find your card now at this point, that'd make me the world's greatest magician, wouldn't it, Sarah?
Make you.
Well,
Okay, yeah.
let's just check. We'll ask the cards. We'll ask the cards who the world's greatest magician is. W-H-O, that's who.
Right.
I-S, that's is.
Yeah.
T-H-E, that's the.
Yeah.
World's, W-O-R-L-D, apostrophe S, because I know that grammar is very important to you. Mm. Greatest, G-R-E-A-T-E-S-T, magician, M-A-G-I-C-I-A-N. And it looks like that arrow is pointing directly to me, Sarah, so whatever you say, I think the answer's obvious. Right. The cards have spoken. But it might not be pointing towards me, it might be pointing to the top card of the pack.
Yeah.
This card right here.
Okay.
I don't even want you to say the name of your card. I'm just hoping you tell me I've got it right.
Yes.
6 of hearts, there you go, boom. So that's the world's greatest card trick. Now, what I love about this most is the presentation. I love that moment where you say, I'm going to show you the world's greatest card trick. And you kind of do it very tongue-in-cheek, but you're being serious. I'm going to show you the world's greatest card trick. Let me show you the world's greatest card trick. Once you've shown them, so once you've set that premise up, you then go into this way of having the card selected, which is really fair when you actually think about it. And again, you're justifying having the card picked in this way by talking about how all the other methods aren't fair. So I could have you pick a card face up, but that's no good because of this. I could have you pick a card face down, that's no good because of this. But I've got an idea. Now, the nice thing about this is there's no setup to this trick. You just need to make sure that you've got a pack of 52 cards. No jokers, no extras, no cards missing. You need 52 cards. Other than that, it can be shuffled by the audience. It can be a shuffled deck in use. As long as you got those 52 cards, you're absolutely fine. So you can go into this at any point, and they cut the cards, and then you show them the cards, and then it's done. It's done at that moment. As soon as they've thought of the card, even though you don't know what it is, the trick will work itself. As long as you just do it, and you just spell out who is the world's world's greatest magician, it will always end up on the top of the deck, which is just a wonderful, wonderful thing. And it blows laymen away. And that arrow thing, and the first person I saw do that, I've been doing this trick for a very, very long time. And then I saw Brad Henderson on a YouTube video. I don't even know how it got onto my radar, but I saw Brad Henderson on a YouTube video do this. And he was teaching it. It was for like a summer camp or something. I can't remember exactly. It was years ago, but he was teaching it as part of like some summer camp thing, and he taught this particular trick, and he did his presentation, and his presentation of this was simply divine. And to be honest, it's been a couple of years ago since I watched this, but I'm fairly sure that after watching Brad doing this, I adapted my presentation to go in line with the way that Brad taught it on that YouTube video. And by the way, if you don't know Brad Henderson, he's amazing. He was a massive influence of my career early on when I didn't know anything about magic, and he's a wonderful human being and an amazing person. So go check out Brad Henderson. He's just an amazing thinker of magic. But anyway, I saw this video of him doing this, and I adapted my presentation accordingly. And what's really nice about it is this arrow thing, because they think that's a gag. You know, when you're spelling out who's the world's greatest magician, and then there's an arrow and it's pointing to you, and you go, well, the cards don't lie. It's a very funny moment. It's very funny. And even though you're doing this dealing, because you're spelling, and you've got that funny, apostrophe S, because you've got all of this delivered in the right way, it's not boring. It's an example of doing a spelling trick, or it's an example of doing a dealing trick and actually making it interesting. And they think it's a gag, and you've got the arrow pointing towards you, but then you point out, well, it's also pointing to the top card of the deck, and then you turn that card over and it's their card. Boom. It's amazing. I can't tell you, the layman will just grab the deck. They think there's something gimmicked about it. It's not. It's a regular deck of cards. That's what's beautiful. You can go into any other routine. You can slot. This isn't an opening routine. It's not a closing routine, but it's a great routine to put in the middle. Once you've got them hooked in and they're interested in watching you. The one negative is it requires a table. You don't have to use a close-up map, but you do need a table. So it's great for a bar or a restaurant or something like that. Other than that, it's completely self-working and it works itself. It's just great. It's called the world's greatest card trick. I highly recommend that you learn it. So there you have it. That's 3 tricks that are self-working that you've probably never seen before. Now over to you. I want to know what you think of these. Let me know in the comments down below. Do you perform any of these? And if you do, what are the reactions that you get? I'm going to be doing follow-up videos. I'm going to do maybe 3 or 4 of these over the next year. So let me know in the comments down below if there's a particular self-working trick that you have performed that I should be looking at. I have got a big list of my own, but I'd love to know what you think because there are some amazing self-working card tricks, and I think it's about time that we shone a light on some of those amazing tricks as well. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Don't forget to like the video. If you want to see more videos like this, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will be back again tomorrow with a magic rant. I'll see you again. Thanks very much for watching. My name's Craig from Magic TV.